Hey guys, what's up? This is the Dragon Lord here, and I wanted to give you guys an update video kind of thing. I've been really busy, like, not trying to make excuses or anything, but that's the main reason why I haven't been making videos. And actually, I just moved out of my parents' house, so I basically have my own house here. I share it with roommates, but I pretty much have my own space down here. I have a basement, like, it's really nice. I have it set up. More or less, I have the bedroom, which is behind me. You can see. Then you have over like this way. I'm not sure if you can see it. Doubt it. Is like I have like a kitchen area. I have a living room area. I have a bathroom down here. I have like it's really nice. But anyways, yeah, it was really cool. Really, really nice to move out and stuff. Have my own space and stuff like that. So mainly, what I've been up to is working for the last, say, about 3 months. And Red Archman King just texted me. So yeah, I've been working 2 jobs right now, and I might even go in to get a third job, depending on if I can physically do it with my schedule and stuff. For the most part, what I do is I work and then I come home and sleep. Like, that's what I do most of the time. I try to do more than that, but sometimes I can't. And then sometimes when I get a day off, I just want to like sit around and do nothing. And I really try hard not to do that because I know it's really bad. So I try not to do that, but sometimes I do. I do somewhat follow Yu-Gi-Oh news and whatnot, but I'm not like really hardcore or anything about it. Like Red Archman King is way more up on it than I am, and he'd probably even tell you that he isn't like extremely hardcore on it, but I could be wrong on that. Um, yeah. So if I ever have a question, I just go to him, and he knows the answer a lot more often than I would about like the new decks, the meta, and all that good stuff that I really don't care to get into all that much. There's just nothing there for me. Never really been into any meta deck or anything. But I'll tell you what, since the last time Red Archman King has made a deck profile, I think it was his Heroic Utopia. It might have been the only deck profile he ever did on our channel, or his channel, whatever, same difference. Yeah, since then he's gotten, he has the Osenju deck, the Galaxy Photon deck, he's changed that up a little bit. What else has he done? He has a DDD deck, I helped him make that. I mean, I didn't help him make that, I got him the cards for it, though. I think he wants to do something with the Red Eye support and the Buster Blader support. Jeez. For some reason, I always forget what decks he has. That might be it. I know he's been wanting to build like a lot of decks, and he gets like a decent amount of the cards, but he can never like finish it. So it's like, how's that new deck? How's that deck coming along? That I got some of those cards for. He's like, oh, I haven't been able to pick up the rest of it. It's like, oh man, because I know he was interested in some of the meta decks. I think he said something about Clifford's maybe playing Nekroz, Burning Abyss, Satellar Knights. Hopefully he doesn't play Shadalls. Please don't. Yeah, I know he was interested in those at one point or another. I know that Yosenju deck is really, really good. Like, I don't know how that deck does not do meta power. Like, if it doesn't, I don't know that it does or doesn't, but that deck is amazing. Like, I'm pretty sure that I've played him probably no more than that. Let's say about 10 times. I guarantee he's beaten me just about every time. Basically, I built my deck to counteract that deck. I thought if I threw in 3 Royal Decrees in the deck, that he would just, like, that deck would just die. Like, I was really hoping that if I got Rodocree, that was my only trap that I played in there. I played 3 Rodocrees, which I actually picked up from him in his Heroic Utopia. Decent idea. But I guess now the meta doesn't really play traps as much, I guess. Because it's like so fast or something. I really don't know. Yeah, so that didn't work out nearly as well as I thought. Basically, he plays like the Yosenju secret moves or something like that. Basically, it's like a dark bribe or trap jam or whatever, something like that, wiretap kind of effect where basically if I play anything and he has a Yosenju on the field, my card's basically useless. So yeah, I have a hard time against that. And then when he throws out like Necro Valley, I can't get my Blue Eyes stuff. I can't get Azure Eyes. Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Then he banishes my stuff with Macro and Defissure. He's done that before. It's actually a kind of annoying deck, but in a way it's like I kind of respect the deck because it's something different from like Necros and Cleaforts and that kind of stuff. Shadalls, Burning Abyss. Because it's so much different. It's like an anti-meta type deck, and basically built that deck around anti-meta. Basically, you can't use your graveyard effects. The only real weakness of that deck that I can see is leaving your field open at the end of the turn. But that's not like a major problem or anything for the deck, in my opinion, from my experience. I think he built it so he has like Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison, stuff like that to protect his life points. And I'll tell you what, it's a good deck. I couldn't believe if anyone would ever tell me it's a bad deck. But anyways, on to something else. What other decks is he trying to make? I've heard him trying to go after Gladiator Beast, 6 Samurais, Dark Worlds, yay. 6 Samurais, yay. Gladiator Beast, yay. I don't like any of those decks. Ritual Beast, I wasn't too thrilled with those when I played against them. Like, I had this guy beat the whole game. Like, he was getting beat, and I don't even remember what he did, but he came back and ended up winning. And more or less, they seem to be like fusion monsters that, like a contact fusion where you don't need like polymerization, something like that. Yeah, he made those fusions, and slowly he just came back and beat me. So I was like, yay. And I have played against Satellar Knights. I know I haven't brought those up. I look at Satellar Knights as the least or lesser of all the evils of the meta decks. More or less, it's the one that I can tolerate the most. It's, my opinion, some of it has some anti-meta qualities, which is kind of nice. I'm trying not to go off on a rant here, but what I really disliked about, well, the meta period and Satellar Knights was they hit Rhoda, which basically hurt my hero deck and my Battling Boxer deck and a lot of other warrior type decks like 6 Samurai. Even though I hate that deck, it's still, there's no reason to, like, I don't think that Rhoda is really that big of an issue, and it nearly killed his Red Archfiend King's Heroic Utopia deck. It just, sorry, Number Hunter just texted me. Gosh dang it, Number Hunter. I lost my thought, I'm sorry, guys. Basically, I was saying it has some anti-meta qualities. Oh, Rhoda. Basically, I was really ticked off when Rhoda got hit because it killed more or less 4 decks that we really liked playing, which really ticked me off because we're, for the most part, anti-meta players or casual kind of players. Casual in the sense where we're not extremely hardcore like a lot of the Yugi tubers are, and people that do this for a job and stuff. I'm just not really into meta. I've never really picked up on any of the decks that I really cared for. Honestly, I do kind of hate pretty much all the meta decks, more or less, when they came out. I grew to stand Satellar Knights because the only thing that's really bad about them, that I don't really like when I play against them, is their Xyz, which I really hate those things. Like the one with the heavy storm effect, I don't know if that's Trevor or something. And then they had access to like the Star Seraphs and the Cyber Dragon Infinity and all that crap, so no thanks. I'm not sure if anyone was coming down or not. Hopefully not. Interrupt the video. Yeah, so Royal Decree really, like, murdered that deck so much when I played against it. Like, even with my Blue Eyes Dragon deck, it wrecked me. Like, there was nothing they could do. If they don't have their Xyz, or they don't have all those traps, which basically keeps them in the game, which I kind of hate decks like that. I mean, at one point I did play, like, was it 17 traps in a deck before? And it was just really dumb. Like, it makes the game, like, really, really slow. Like, I'd play, like, 3 Mirror Force, 3 Dimensional Prison, and then you have your staple cards, semi-staple cards, Bottomless, Torrential, Compulsory, and Solemn Warning. I used to play those quite a bit. I still play... I'm not as big on Solemn Warning anymore as the other 3. Compulsory isn't that bad. I kind of wish we could have more than one Compulsory, but whatever. Torrential, I wouldn't mind if that came back to like 2. I'm so used to playing it at 1 and playing against it at 1. It's kind of nice. It's like, if you get hit with it, you know that that's the only one you're going to deal with. That's kind of nice about it. Bottomless, I think Bottomless is a really good card. Like, that was one of the cards I legitimately looked through my cards and was like, oh, this is a good card, I should play this. Like, I didn't hear that from anybody. I didn't learn to use Bottomless from, like, YouTubers or anyone else. I was like, this is a really, really good card. Like, I need to be playing this. So I pretty much play those cards as staples, not as much Solemn Warning. Sometimes I even prefer Black Horn of Heaven or something like that over Solemn Warning, mainly because of the life point cost. And also, I really wish that we could have Solemn Judgment over Solemn Warning if I had to pick one. I mean, Solemn Warning is a little bit less weaker and more fair, I guess, but I really like that. I also kind of wish we had Royal Oppression over Vanity's Emptiness. I feel like it's more fair and there's more of an even split there. It's like you can set up your field in Vanity's Emptiness, and if your field's big enough, then your opponent can't do anything, or you can't do anything if you're on the other side of it. So it's like personal preference, I guess, but I think a lot of cards could come back, at least for the casual people, and it wouldn't bother them. That's one of the reasons I hate the meta as well, for the most part, is it messes with the casual players, like Rhoda. Like, you hit Rhoda for no reason, more or less. You can't bring back these other casual staple cards that aren't gonna hurt like that much. Like, if you could bump pretty much any of them up to like 2, I don't think it would hurt anything. Like, we already have Raigeki at 1 and Dark Hole at 2. I could see them banning Raigeki again at one point. I don't think the meta used it, so I think it'll be fine for now, but yeah. Dark Hole at 2 is nice. I could see them like banning Raigeki though and putting Dark Hole at 3 or something. Personally, I wouldn't want that to happen, but I could see it. Like, if Raigeki ever becomes the problem again, which I seriously doubt it. I think I'm making some points here that make sense. I try to stay up with the game at least a little bit. So if I'm completely out of line, just let me know. Like, if I don't know what I'm talking about, just let me know, because I could be totally wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really up to it, and I'll be the first to admit that I'm wrong. So guys, once again, I appreciate you guys for checking out the video. I wanted to make some videos for you guys because you guys are awesome. Thank you. Enjoy. Thank you for watching.